why? Cheaper. That's right. Somewhere else will be cheaper than Malaysia. And manufacturing always goes to where it's the least expensive place to make it. So right now, that's China. But soon it may be Central Europe, it may be Indonesia, it may be other places around the world. But Malaysia is rapidly growing. And as you grow and become more wealthy as a country, then it's too expensive to manufacture products. And so now the companies coming to Malaysia will be information service companies. There will be companies that are programming or banking or other kinds of service industry. That's what's going to come into Malaysia over the next 5 to 10 years. When that happens, you need to re-educate all the workers. All the workers need to be educated again for these new jobs. They say, who will do this? Okay. Clearly, for the most part, the government cannot do this. It will be the corporations that will have to do this. So if my company comes to Malaysia and I hire 100 people, I will train them. My company will end up being the place where they will learn how to do this that they're doing. So this is the big change that's coming and will come in the future. And I think you really need preparation to understand that and to be ready for when that happens. But it will come soon to Malaysia, already is coming. So we've got a manufacturing-driven training program today. All our training is based around training people to make things. But people don't have to make things anymore. Now we have to have things, they have to be able to learn how to think, and how to do things in a different way, how to be creative, how to be innovative, how to take responsibility, how to do these things. So very different kind of education. So this is the old training. This is what you have now that needs to be replaced with the new training of the future. So what we know. What do we know right now? We can teach you how to do something very, very easily. Very easy to teach you how to do something. We're very good at this. In fact, e-learning is very good at this. So if you want to teach somebody how to learn, how to make something, or how to do something, we are very good at teaching that. Our schools are good at that, and I think your training organization is probably very good at that. So you can hire a new employee, and you can teach them how to work on the manufacturing very easily and very quickly. But the challenge that we have is, can you teach them how to innovate? Can you teach them to be creative? Can you teach them to come up with new ideas about things? Can you teach them in very different ways than we teach today? So the new methods of teaching, and later today in the afternoon I will talk more about this, but really it's more about having a mentor and having much looser structure. Right now our training is very specific, right? We have A and B and C and D. Everything is very laid out. We assume that the learner does not know anything. But now we have very educated people who are very smart and they already know things. They need some help, but they don't need every single step. They need guidance, they need coaching, but they don't need the same kind of teaching that we used to do. So we have a lot of things to change, a lot of things that have to evolve over the next 5 years or so, I think, in corporations. And Gen Y is teaching us a lot of things. You know, this is the first generation that ever grew up with a computer from when they were born. They grew up with television all the time. They grew up with a mobile phone from when they were very small. Okay? So this is a totally technology generation. And how do we teach them? In the old-fashioned way. We don't use technology. Okay? These students expect to learn by the technology. They expect to learn on the computer. They expect to learn on the television. They don't expect to sit like this in the room and listen to me. Okay? They go to YouTube. Okay? They go to various things on the internet to learn. So we have to change the way we teach these young people. It has to be different. They are not going to just say, okay, I like this, I will sit and listen to you. They will just go away. They want to learn in different ways, and we have to change the way that we deliver the education that we have. So they're teaching us about the internet is where everything happens on the internet. For if you are 20 years old, your life is the internet. That's what you do all day. Right? You go to sleep with your mobile phone, and you wake up with your mobile phone. Okay? If you're a baby boomer, you turn it off at night, you turn it on in the morning. They never turn it off. Right? It's on all the time. Right? They expect to get what they want right now. They want it immediately. They don't want to wait for months or weeks to get something. So a different time frame, a different attitude. They like to have a lot of personalized messaging. Everything for them, it comes right to their mobile phone with their name on it. They want to be known. They want it personal. They want it to be flexible. They want it to be the way that they want it to be. So they want choices. So rather than saying you must learn this today and this tomorrow, they say, no, I want to learn this today and that tomorrow. They want choices, and you have to give them the choice of what to do. So they're teaching us a lot about what we need to do in education if we're going to continue to keep these people excited about learning and interested in the work that they do. But if they come to your company and you make them sit in rooms like this and listen to people talking, that's why they want to work for themselves. They say, I don't want to work for myself, I don't want to listen to this. And they can do that. So they're now going out and doing other things. So I think the problem is not for them to change. The problem is we need to change. And maybe it's two ways. Okay? But we need to change some, and they may need to change some too. But it's just not, we just cannot continue to do things any old way. This is the 21st century. This is a whole new era in the history of the world, I think. And the internet is as important as electricity. It changed everything. And electricity changed everything, and the internet has changed everything about how we work and how we learn. And so we must adapt and change our learning for this world. As I said before, technology is invisible. They don't see technology. We talk about technology. They use technology. It's very different. They expect everything to be fast. How long is the television program? The average television program is about 22 minutes. 22 minutes long, average. That's about the only amount of time they will focus. After 20 minutes or so, their brain is gone somewhere else. And I'm going to lecture for 6 hours. They will be sleeping. Right? They're not going to learn anything. Okay? So fast has to be fast. Okay? And it's got to be short, fast and short. They would rather come here or not come here, get on the internet and listen to me for 15 minutes each day for a week or 2 weeks than to sit here for one day and listen all day. So a different style. They need a choice, and they would rather get on the internet and say, okay, here's 15 minutes, I'm off again. Now I'm going to go do some other thing. Okay? So it's a different kind of thinking process here. And it must be flexible. Must be able to, another way to say that is they want to do it in their way. In their choice of doing things. So there's one car made by Toyota. I don't know if you have it in Malaysia, but it's called the Scion, SCION.